welcome back to the breakdown. Today I want to be teaching you how to make a server in Minecraft 1.16.1. We're going to be going over every single step of setting up your very own Minecraft 1.16.1 server, from downloading the server files to getting it set up on your computer to then port forwarding, allowing your friends to join your server and allowing you to play Minecraft with your friends. First and foremost though, I do want to mention some things. This is not a 24-hour server. It's only up and running when your computer is up and running. It's also only meant for your friends and family and people you trust. Basically, only people that you would invite over to your house, because it is hosted on your own internet connection. That means that via the IP of this server, people can DDoS your internet. They can figure out where you live under your latitude and longitude coordinates. You'll see that a little later. So all that is possible via your server here. And last but not least, it does use your own computer's resources. Meaning if you don't have a decent computer with a decent processor and a solid amount of RAM, then you're not going to be able to run a server without major issues. Especially, you're not going to be able to run a server and play Minecraft at the same time. So what if you want a public server? Or what if you want a private server for just your friends, but you don't want it to be hosted on your own computer? You either don't have a good enough computer, or you just want the added security of not hosting a server on your network. Well, in that case, that's where Apex Minecraft Hosting can come in. You can check out Apex, the first link down below, the breakdown.xyz/Apex, to get an incredible Minecraft server. They have amazing high quality hardware, meaning you never have to worry about lag on your server. They have one-click installation. You see how long this video is, over 20 minutes long. Guess what? At Apex, you can get your server set up in under 5 minutes. It's super simple, super easy. I'm actually going through most of the process on your screen right now. Literally, to set up your server at Apex, you enter in submit details, select the server version you want, in this case 1.16.2, and then boom, you are basically done. That's pretty much it. It's super simple, super easy, and then you get an IP and you can play on your server. If you want to add plugins to your server, add mods to your server, Apex makes it very, very easy to do both of those things. And on top of that, if you want to play a mod pack, you can do that quickly and easily with one-click installation of the mod pack at Apex. We actually love Apex so much that we put our money where our mouth is and host our own server, played.breakdowncraft.com, 100% on Apex Minecraft hosting. It's on Apex hardware. It's even ran off of the Apex backend that all of you will use on your server. So we love Apex so much, we use them ourselves, and you can trust them to start your own Minecraft server without port forwarding, without worrying about your own computer's resources, and without having to worry about any sort of security or anything like that. You can have a private server with Apex for just your friends and family, or you can have a public server and allow anyone to join. That choice is completely up to you, but you can check out Apex, the first link down below, the breakdown.xyz/Apex, to get a Minecraft server the easiest way possible. But what if you don't want to do that? What if you still want a server on your own computer? You want to get it up and running on your own PC and basically run everything yourself on your own PC. Well, that's awesome. I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. The first thing you want to do is go to the second link down below. That's going to take you here. This is our text tutorial for making a Minecraft server. It's something that I always like to include here, and you always go to this link because this is a long video. It can be hard to follow along, and everything that I do in this video is covered in this article here, and it's 10 steps. It's a lot, right? It's a long video, so yeah, but nevertheless, once you come here, you'll be able to go through this, all 10 steps, and kind of cover it and go through it at your own pace if we go through it too fast in the video. So that's why that's here. But nevertheless, once you're here, you're going to click on this green download Minecraft button. That's then going to take us off to Mojang's official website, Minecraft.net, where we can then click on download Minecraft_server 1.16.2.jar. We're going to click on this green download link here. When we click on that, it's going to immediately download in the bottom left. And as you can see, do you want to keep the server.jar file? Yes, we do. We want to keep in the bottom left. You will need to save the file in the center of your screen on Mozilla Firefox, so save it in the center of your screen there, but you can keep it in the bottom left on Google Chrome. If we go ahead and minimize our browser here, on my desktop, I have the server.jar file right here. See this server.jar? If this isn't on your desktop, it's going to be in your downloads folder. By the way, it might not be server.jar. It might just say server, right? And if it does, that's okay. As long as it says server there, you're good. But mine says server.jar. This is not on your desktop, though. It's going to be in your downloads folder, and we do need to go find it. So let's go ahead and click on the little Windows icon to the top left of my screen, bottom left of your screen. Click on that little Windows icon, and the top or bottom left of your screen. Then go ahead and type in downloads, right like so. You'll then have this downloads file folder. Click on that, and in here you will find server.jar. Drag that to your desktop just for ease of use. Now, once this server file is on your desktop, first off, make sure that it, looks like mine here. Basically, if it doesn't have this like Java coffee cup logo, then you're going to need to download and install Java. So to do that, you can go to the description down below and find this. This is the complete Java tutorial for Minecraft servers. We're setting up a Minecraft server, so obviously you need this version of Java. Come here, get this, set it up, and then you'll be good to go. However, if for whatever reason this still doesn't look like this, it doesn't look like this Java coffee cup logo, well then what you want to do is go and run the Jarfix, which is also linked in the description down below. And this is going to take all the .jar files in your computer and link them with Java once again, kind of linking them up right like so. But nevertheless, once you have this server file with the Java coffee cup logo, it looks like this and everything, we can go ahead and right click on our desktop, create a new folder, and then you can title this folder whatever you want. I'm going to title it play.breakdowncraft.com. Why am I naming it that? Because that is our own Minecraft server where you'll find incredible 1.16.2 survival, custom factions, amazing skyblock. Medieval survival has 30 custom quests and a play-based economy. Aquatic survival has a /shop-based economy. You'll love it. Come play with us. Play.breakdowncraft.com is the IP if you want an awesome Minecraft server. But nevertheless, once you've got that folder set up there, you can take the server.jar and drag it into this folder. You can name this folder whatever you want, but yeah, I named it play.breakdowncraft.com. Nevertheless, once we open that folder, we will see in here that we do have the server.jar file. Now at this point, we can go ahead and double click on it, assuming you did what I said and made sure that it looked correct there, right? You should have Java, you should have the Jarfix, and it should look like this file here. It should look like this Java coffee cup file. If it doesn't, it's not going to work correctly, and that's why that's so important. However, if you want it to say .jar here, what you can do is click on View, and then make sure File Name Extensions is checked. So if I turn that off, yours may just look like this, right? On the desktop, it would look like that. It would have said Server. So you can drag it here, but nevertheless, if you click on View and then click on File Name Extensions, you're going to be able to see .jar. I'd recommend having that on. But nevertheless, we can go ahead and now double-click on this server.jar, and assuming you have Java set up correctly and everything, going through those tutorials, running the Jarfix, it'll go ahead and it'll act like it'll opening up, it'll load some stuff in here, but it'll eventually fail. It's not going to open anything up. And that's because we need to agree to this file right here, the EULA.txt. To do that, go ahead and double click on that file, go to this EULA here, and if you agree to it, come to where it says EULA equals false and change it to EULA equals true, TRUE, exactly like that. Then go ahead and do file save, right like so, and now EULA equals true as long as that string of phrase is in there exactly like that, no spaces, no anything. You can close out of this, and now double click on the server.jar file. At this point, your server is going to start up, right? I'm going to show you how to join your server yourself, and then I'm going to show you how to port forward so your friends can join. Because with this server that we started right here, your friends cannot join it, right? You need to open up your router and allow people to join in through port 25565. We're going to cover that later. But you need to basically allow people into your own network in order to let your friends join this server. But since you're on your own network, you can join this server right away. So as you can see, we are preparing the spawn area. We're set up. Don't worry about any, errors or anything like that on startup. It's not usually a big deal, especially the first time you start it up. You're going to have some errors because, well, like the world wasn't there. Technically, that's not supposed to be that way, right? It's an error. It needs to generate the world. So yeah, but nevertheless, whenever you see done over here, server is set up. So at this point, we can make sure, and you can kind of test performance and things like that with your server by going ahead and opening up Minecraft. So we're going to go ahead and open up the Minecraft launcher here, 1.16.2, latest release. We're going to open up Minecraft, and then we can join this server. Now, only you will be able to join this server this way. Your friends will need to join off of your public IP address, which we will get later. Only you can once we've loaded up Minecraft. So let this load up, and I will meet you after a quick jump cut once we're on the Minecraft main menu. There we go, loading onto the Minecraft menu here. And if we go ahead and come over here to the little Windows icon, we got to get our IP, our local IP address. Come over here to the Windows icon, go ahead and click on that. And then you want to type in CMD. You'll then have command prompt here. Click on that. And then in command prompt, what you want to type is ipconfig, ipconfig, exactly like that, and hit enter. You have all this information here. We need two numbers. So I'm going to go ahead and open up Notepad. And then from here, what you want to do is get your IPv4 address, right? So we're going to type this in Notepad, IPv4. And that, for me, is 192.168.1.123. Yours will most likely be completely different from that, and that's okay. That's why we found it via the CMD, so you can get your IPv4 address here. Then we want to get our default gateway. So I'm going to type default gateway here, because we're going to need that later as well to port forward. So we're going to get our default gateway. Now for me, I only have one number here. If you have two numbers, right, one that's like this, which is very long and has numbers and letters in it, and then under that or above it have one that's just, numbers, you want the one that's just numbers. In my case, that's 192.168.1.1. For you, it might be something completely different, but that's okay. You just want the default gateway that is just numbers in the CMD here. Now we can close out of the CMD and go ahead and copy that IPv4 address. So just select it, right click, copy, and then we can come back over to Minecraft. Our server is still up over here. As you can see, it's done, it's running. We can click on multiplayer, then we can click direct connect, and we can paste the server address in here. Then when we click join server, you'll see me pop up over here on the left hand side. Boom, Nick's Games, joining a game. Awesome stuff. That means the server is up and running. We're good. It is up and running. Like I said, you can test performance, things like that with this. Now, the more players you have on your server, the, more laggy it's going to be. However, if you're, want to just make sure that you can play on your server before you tell your friends it's there and stuff, you can go ahead and test it like this and then go ahead and do that later. Now, you may need to add more RAM to your server, and if that's the case, we do have an in-depth guide on adding more RAM, which is right here. This is linked in the description down below, and it shows you how to add more RAM to your server. This is already a long video. We're not going to be going in depth on it here. As you can see, this is a 10-minute video on adding RAM. I talk about how much RAM you need, all that stuff. It's all covered in this video. So that's why this video is here, and we're not going to be covering it in this particular tutorial. As you can see, 73,000 people have gotten help from this. So yeah, very, very, very good resource in the description of this video. But nevertheless, let's go ahead, and if you want your friends to join, port forward. So you can play on your server like this. If you just want like a local server for whatever reason you wanted to be able to play on a server instead of, playing in single player, you can do that here in this without any issues, right? Not a problem whatsoever to do that using this tutorial. But at this point, your friends can't join. To do that, we need to go ahead and disconnect from the server, minimize the browser. We need to stop the server. So when you stop a Minecraft server, always type in this little text box down here at the bottom, STOP, stop, and then hit enter. That's going to then shut things down, close it out correctly. That way you don't have to worry about any world corruption and like random servers being left open, which can happen. So nevertheless, once you've done that, we can finally go ahead and port forward. The first step of that is you want to come over to Notepad, our Notepad document here, and you want to copy that IPv4 address again, if you haven't already, and then come into server.properties. So double click on server.properties, and then you want to find server-IP equals. So right here, server-IP equals, and then directly next to that, you want to paste your IPv4 address. So again, no spaces or anything, just server-IP equals string of numbers. And again, my IPv4 address is 192.168.1.123. Yours is most likely completely different, and that's okay. Once you've pasted that in the server.properties file, go ahead and click File, Save the server.properties. And now, that's the first step of port forwarding. The next step is logging into your router. To do that, you want to take your default gateway, go ahead and copy your default gateway, go to your browser, and then in a brand new tab, like this tab right here, where, normally you would type in, I don't know, the breakdown of XYZ or youtube.com or something like that, what you want to do is go ahead and paste your default gateway. In my case, that's 192.168.1.1. Yours may be completely different, and if it is, that's perfectly okay. Click on that, hit enter, and it will go ahead and start to do things, and most likely you will have something that looks completely different from what you see here. There'll be one similarity though. You'll have some sort of a login box, like you'll be able to log in some way, shape, or form into your router. Now, you might not know what your router username and password is, and if that's the case, no worries. In the description down below, we have this. This is our tutorial on how to find your router's password. It is a simple 5-step method to find your router's password. Most people find it by step 3, by the way, so don't worry about having to contact your ISP or anything. Just try to step 3, and most likely you'll be like, oh, I'm logged into my router. Awesome. And this is different from your Wi-Fi password. Some people like to think that that's the same. It's not. This is different from your Wi-Fi password. It's your router's basically back-end admin login information. And you can come here and get that using this tutorial. After you found it, though, go ahead and enter it. And then, again, it's going to look completely different, but login box will be there in some way. When you log in, it's, again, going to look completely different. But before you're like, this tutorial isn't helping me at all. Well, before you do that, we have a solution, and that solution is this. This is an in-depth video on how to port forward for Minecraft on any router. It goes out and it goes through all the top routers that are out there today. Netgear, TP-Link, Linksys is obviously covered there. We've got so many routers, Cisco routers, Verizon, AT&T, all those routers are covered in this video. And if your router isn't specifically mentioned, still watch that entire tutorial because most routers are using similar software. So you'll learn all the different lingo and all the different things that it could be called in your router. And then once you do that, you'll be able to come back and port forward without any problems because you'll be like, it doesn't look exactly the same, but I remember it could be in this section or this section, so let's try this one. Oh, there it is. It's that sort of thing with port forwarding. I'm also going to give you some, common terms of port forwarding as we go through this. So here we are in my router. Now for me, it is in security. For you, it may be in advanced. It may be in advanced. It may be in apps and gaming. It may be in port forwarding just right away. It might be an admin. It might be an admin, which I've seen before, oddly enough. It might be an admin in settings. For me, it is in security, and then it's in apps and gaming. By the way, for you, it might be in port forwarding / port triggering. It might be in NAT forwarding, NAT forwarding. It might be in NAT gaming, NAT gaming. I've seen all sorts of different stuff, but overall what you're looking for is some sort of port forwarding. Now, for me here, I have to click, add a new single port forward. For you, you may have something that looks like this, just like a bunch of basically blank empty boxes. all the way down the page, and then you just fill out one of them and then click save. Either way, that's going to be fine, but that's what you want to do is find port forwarding with similar layout to this, like where it says port, maybe port 1, port 2, external port, internal port, inside port, outside port, something like that. You'll have some sort of a protocol, some sort of a device IP, or a drop-down box of all of the devices connected to your network, and then you'll have some sort of a name or identification for the port forward. So what do we enter in once we find the port forwarding here? Well, it's pretty simple. We're going to type in Minecraft, and then for external port or inside port or anything that involves the word port, actually, P-O-R-T, anything that involves the word port, you want to enter in 25565. And guess what? Internal port, we want to enter in 25565. Now for protocol, you want to do TCP/UDP or UDP/TCP or both. And if you can't select both at the same time, go ahead and port forward twice, once for TCP and then once for UDP. However, if you can't select both, go ahead and do that. Nevertheless, we then need to enter in our device IP. Now for me, this is going to be our IPv4 address. For you, you may have a drop-down box of all the devices connected to your network. If that's the case, select the computer you're starting your Minecraft server on. However, if you do have an IP address enter here where it says like device IP or something like that, you want to go ahead and enter in your IPv4 address, which again is my case 192.168.1.123. Now, I can go ahead and save, apply, the port forward is done. Some people though will need a public IP or outside IP for their port forward. But guess what? Everyone watching this video, if you want your friends to join your server, needs your external outside IP. And you can find that via this link in the description down below. What is my IP address? Now, this is all blacked out here, right? You can see 129 is the last 3 digits of my IP address. Just so you know, I'm using the same IP here as when you go back over into Minecraft. Later, you'll be able to see 129 there as well, just to compare, make sure, yeah, those are the same IPs. But that's it. That's all you can see. You've also got blacked out here, but you can see from the IP address, you can get the, region, your state, your city, and your latitude and longitude coordinates all from your IP address. That's why it's so important to keep this private. But nevertheless, once you've got that copied there, once you've got your external IP address, you can come over here and paste it if you need it in your port forward. If not, make sure you've applied, saved, okay, your port forward is set up. And then we can go ahead and minimize our browser. Now we want to go ahead and start our server by double-clicking on the server.jar file there. We'll go ahead and start the server up. Once the server is start up, we've already got Minecraft going here where we can direct connect. And we'll be good to go. So anyway, we're just going to go ahead, let the server start up, and I'll see you after a quick jump cut once this server is up and running. There we go. The server is now up and running. I'm going to drag it over to here, and we're going to paste that public IP address that we got from our website there, right there. Now again, you can see 129. That compares back to the website. If you want to roll back in the video, then click join server, and boom, as you can see, we joined on in over here on the left-hand side. Now, if you can't join via your public IP, it could be a few things. Some ISPs, internet service providers, don't allow connections to reroute like that, because basically you're shooting out to the internet via your external IP and then trying to reconnect back in. Some don't allow that to happen. And if that's the case, that's okay as long as your friends can join off of your public IP. You can just join off of the local IP that we did earlier, and then your friends can join off the public IP. You'll be on the same server, and it'll be awesome. However, if for whatever reason your friends can't join off of your public IP address either, then it's most likely an issue with your port forward, or it could be a firewall either on your computer or on your router, right? So Windows Defender could be the issue, and we do have a tutorial linked in the description down below on how to enable and allow Minecraft and Java through Windows Defender to allow people to join your server. So if you have issues via, with people joining your server, the first thing to do is go to that tutorial in the description, which is going to show you how to set it up with Windows Defender. If that doesn't work, it could be an antivirus. So as much as you don't want to, you can disable your antivirus, see if that fixes it. See if that fixes it. If it does, that's the problem, and you can add an exclusion to your antivirus. And then, last but not least, if that's still not working, it could be an issue with the port forward, so double check it, and then look for firewalls on your router, and make sure that they are allowing external connections through your firewall on your router. But nevertheless, first thing you want to do is check Windows Defender if it's not working, and then after that, you can kind of follow through the rest of those steps. We do have an in-depth tutorial on Windows Defender in the description down below. But nevertheless, there you have it. That is how you can make a Minecraft server. Now, one thing I will say, it's very much so easier with Apex. You don't need to port forward with Apex. You don't have to worry about anything. They take care of literally everything for you, making it super easy and super fun to play Minecraft with your friends with Apex. That's why we recommend them so wholeheartedly, because it's just easy to set up a server with Apex. But nevertheless, there you all have it. If you have any questions, let us know in the comment section down below. Enjoy your brand spanking new Minecraft servers. Come play with us on the best Minecraft server in the multiverse, play.breakdowncraft.com. We have aquatic survival with an awesome shop-based economy, medieval survival with a player-based economy, and 30 custom quests. And then we also have custom factions, 10 player-based factions, which makes it super competitive. F-top over there as well. And then we do have amazing Skyblock with huge updates coming there. There's OP enchantments, custom islands, 1.8 PvP, and so much more. But nevertheless, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, again, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I do want to mention you can opt yourself in your server by coming over here on the left-hand side, clicking on this little text box, typing OP, and then your username, so opt Nick's Games, for example, and now I can do something like go and do game mode creative, because I am opt, which means I have all server permissions and all of that stuff. But nevertheless, my name is Nick, give this video a thumbs up if it helped you out, subscribe to the channel for more awesome content, and I am out. Peace.